UK visa application mortgage secrets for foreign nationals. If you are a non-UK resident at present and you are looking to understand every single mortgage option, then you're in the right place.
Yeah, boy.
Here are 7 tips for you to ensure mortgage success. And stay around to the end for this week's bonus, where I will reveal the best mortgage secrets for foreign nationals. Whether you're on a tier 1, a tier 2, a family visa, a spousal visa, or you have settled or pre-settled status, indefinite leave to remain, or permanent rights to reside, this has you covered. Right, let's get into it. Basic mortgage tips for non-UK nationals. So generally speaking, for quite a few years, the first rule of thumb with most mortgage lenders is that you need a minimum of 2 or 3 years in the UK and a 25% deposit. However, mortgage lenders have slowly been improving their flexibility for foreign nationals based on your situation. Criteria improved to the point where if you were earning over a certain amount, typically 75,000, or were in the UK for at least 2 years, then the deposit requirement would decrease to around 10%. So good news, things are improving. But now there are mortgage lenders with no minimum requirements for the amount of time you have been in the UK, and some mortgage lenders are even lending up to 95% loan to value and will give you a flexible credit score even if you've not got much of a credit history built up within the UK. I'll be going into much more detail around this in the bonus tip at the end, so don't miss that. Credit file tip for non-UK nationals. So quite often you may not have much of a credit history built up. The first thing you want to do is download your credit file to see what it looks like. Sometimes by just having some utility bills can start building your credit history. You don't have to have a huge credit history to pass a mortgage score, because the mortgage lender is going to use the property as security. The mortgage lender is hoping they can find your credit profile and then make sure you have no missed payments. Now, mortgage lenders will use Experian, Equifax or TransUnion to assess you for mortgage purposes, so it's vital you know what's going on with all 3 credit agencies. Check My File provide a credit file which is perfect for mortgage purposes, as it provides all 3 credit agencies on one simple to read credit report. So rather than downloading all 3 separately, you can just download this one file. Just go to link.alexkerr.co.uk/check my file to sign up, and scroll to the bottom of the page and select print/save my file. Click the button and save the file to your desktop or Files app. Check My File is free to download for the first 30 days and £14.99 thereafter, and you can cancel at any time. Credit history tip for non-UK nationals. Once you've downloaded your Check My File credit file from link.alexkerr.co.uk/check my file, where it's free for the first 30 days and £14.99 thereafter, and you can cancel at any time, you need to check to see if there's any history. If you've got some history like some utility bill providers, maybe a credit card or something like that, then great. You only need a couple of items to start registering a credit history. You might see your bank account on there as well. If you haven't got any history, then you can open a current account. You can obtain a mobile phone contract, and registering with utility bills is also a good way of opening an account. Also, telecommunications accounts like Sky, Virgin or BT will register on your credit file. If you live at home, then make sure you try and obtain a bank account or mobile phone contract. If for whatever reason you can't do that, then as a last resort, try opening a credit card with a small limit, such as Vanquis or Capital One, who tend to be a bit more flexible. But please be aware that opening a credit card can decrease your score in the early days, and it will only start benefiting you once you use it each month for a small amount, like £50 or something like that, and pay it off in full each month. Then you should see the benefit in 6 to 12 months' time. Address history tip for foreign nationals. Address history is the core of your credit file. So it's really important that if you've got a bank account or you move home, that your address is up to date immediately, and make sure it's correct. If you've moved home but still keep your address at your parents' house, then this could cause problems with credit agencies pulling through your correct profile. So make sure everything is registered at the correct address where you are right now. Don't forget to update your address if you move, and your credit file will also give you a good indication of all of the credit commitments and the address data they hold. Mortgage history tip for non-UK nationals. So when you move to the UK, your focus should be on preparing yourself for mortgage acceptance. If you have come into the UK from the EU, then you will obtain settled or pre-settled status. Settled status is slightly better than pre-settled status, but mortgage lenders are now much more flexible with pre-settled, and you should be good for a mortgage with either of those. If you're outside of the EU, then you will likely have some type of visa, and if you have been in the UK for a little while now, you may have settled status, permanent rights to reside, or indefinite leave to remain, which will give you practically the same mortgage access as a UK national. So generally speaking, the longer history you have, whether it's credit history or employment history, then the more chances of mortgage success you will have, and the more available mortgage lenders will be accessible to you. To me, the sweet spot is 12 months. So if you can get 12 months continuous employment history under your belt and 12 months of a credit history built up, then your chances of mortgage success are going to increase considerably. Proof of deposit tip for foreign nationals. So if you've come over to the UK, it's very likely that the money you have saved for your deposit is going to be saved outside of the UK. If that's the case, then money laundering requirements in the UK stipulate you must be able to prove where the source of funds have come from. It must be from an allowable country and an allowable source. If you've been gifted the money, the same rules apply, and the person making the gift will also need to prove where the money has come from and provide a letter stating that the money is not a loan and that they have no interest in the property. They will also need to supply bank statements. Some mortgage lenders may also stipulate that the proof of deposit bank statements are translated into English. So the simpler and less complicated you can keep your proof of deposit, the better. If it's a bit grey where the money's come from and you can't prove it, if it's cash, as in paper money, that has been given to you and you've placed it in the bank, then this is not going to be accepted as your deposit. Make sure that you can provide clarity where the money's come from, and if you can't, then you may consider using that money towards the fees, which you don't need to be proved. You don't need to prove where that's come from. Then making arrangements to save for your deposit in a way which will be accepted by the mortgage lender. Mortgage documents tip for non-UK nationals. As a non-UK national, when applying for a mortgage, you are going to need additional documentation. You're going to need a passport or UK driving licence, a utility bill or bank statement within the last 3 months to be able to prove your income through payslips or self-assessment returns, to prove your deposit through bank statements showing a build-up of funds from £0 to the point of the deposit you are now. And you also need to prove your residency status as working in the UK and residing in the UK. To do this, you'll need to obtain right to work and right to reside share codes. To obtain these, just Google right to work share codes and right to reside share codes, and the relevant information will come up at the .gov.uk websites. You should say a statement similar to view and prove your immigration status, get a share code, and prove your right to work to an employer, get a share code, where you can obtain them by inputting your personal details such as your passport number. Obtain these as soon as possible and then keep them safe somewhere. I would build up a folder with all of these documents in preparation for a mortgage application. My biggest tip for you is don't rush the process or try to cut corners. Preparation is key. Bonus tip. So this week I'm going to provide you with 2 bonus tips.
Another one.
The first is that I'm delighted to report that we can now offer mortgages to foreign nationals with no minimum time in the UK and just a 5% deposit. This is the criteria you need to meet. You either need to have a minimum of 1 year remaining on your visa, or if you're doing a joint mortgage, then only one of you needs to have either a minimum of 1 year remaining on your visa or have settled status or equivalent. Now, this is with a mortgage broker only mortgage lender, so you cannot apply direct, otherwise I'd give out the the mortgage lender, which I do in most videos in the bonus section. With this one, if you're interested to discuss your mortgage options as a non-UK national, just book a free no obligation chat with me using the link in the corner of the screen or by going to mortgagechain.co.uk and selecting book a free chat. The second bonus for you is that I'm in the middle of creating a free online course for non-UK nationals, which will help you from everything from start to finish. There'll be two parts to the course, one which helps you with the preparation and one which will provide you with all of the mortgage lenders and their criteria. When I'm completely finished with these courses, they will both be chargeable, but if you sign up now, you'll get the first part completely free forever, which will help you prepare for mortgage success as a non-UK national. You'll get all the updated videos. Just click the link in the corner of the screen and enter your email details for free logins, or click the link in the description below titled Free Online Course for Non-UK Nationals. Mortgage warning: as a mortgage is secured against your home, it could be repossessed if you do not keep up the mortgage repayments. So thanks for watching today's video. Please check out the show notes for a recap with access to any links discussed today. And if you feel like you're getting value from this video, please consider subscribing and ringing the bell to receive notifications so we can carry on providing you with value and, most importantly, the keys to your home. Have a beautiful day. I'll see you in the next one.